Okay, we're on What Do You Remember for Lesson 4 of Module 2. In the previous video, we went over how to do it. We had check understanding. Now, if you needed to rewatch those videos, because I know these lessons are a little bit complex, make sure you're doing that. Another thing to help you is knowing your multiplication facts pretty well in this. The more you know them, the quicker you will go. So on these ones, you have 3 problems, and you need to figure out if you can do them. Try what you can do and then put this back on and go over it. The first one, a musician uses water glasses to play music. The glasses contain, okay, so this is the stuff that you're going to pick out. We have 0, 0.5, 4/6, 1/3, and 4/5 to play the glasses. The musician lines them up from least to greatest. So we're going to order them from least to greatest as we're writing. Okay, so we have 0.5, we have 4/6, 1/3, and 4/5. And we need to change these all so they have the same denominator. So I'm going to change them to be 30, because I know 6 times 5 will get me 30. So I get 20 on the top. 3 times 10 gets me 30, so I multiply by 10. 5 times 6 gets me 30. I get 24 up here. Now, half. Half of 30 is 15, so this decimal is changing into 15 over 30. We're going least to greatest. Least to greatest. The smallest one here is 10. Originally, it's 1/3. So I got that one. Our next one is 0.5 because 15 comes next. Next, we have 20 because 20 comes before 24. So 4/6. And we're wrapping it up with 24 over 30. Okay, we have 2 more questions on here. We're going to order rational numbers from least to greatest. We have this set, and then we have this set. So it's going to take us just a little bit, to get through that. First off, we're going least to greatest, so I know my negative numbers are going to come first. My positive numbers are going to come second. So I'm going to change my decimals into fractions. 25, you have negative, 25 goes on top, 100 goes on bottom. And I know that can simplify down into 1/4. Our next one, fraction, we have negative 1/16. I didn't want fraction, did I? Sorry. My next one, my decimal, is 0.75. The 5's in the hundredth spot, so 75 over 100. And that goes down to 3/4. And I know these because quarters. You do a lot of that work with quarters and think 25 cents quarters. Okay, so I have those. And then my fractions are 7/8 and negative 1/16. So I have 4's, 8, and 16. I'm going to change these all into 16. I'm going to multiply by 4 on this one. And I get negative 1 over 16. On this one, when I multiply by 4, and I'm multiplying by 4 because I want 16 on the bottom, because we have to get the same number on the bottom. This one I'm going to multiply by 2 to get 16 on the bottom. So I get 14 over 16. This one's already 16. And we're going from least to greatest. This is what happens when you go too quick. I forgot to say 1 times 4 is 4. Most of you probably caught that already. Okay, so now we're going from least to greatest. Looking at my negative number first, I have negative 1/16, and I have negative 4/16. This one is smaller, so I'm going to start with my original number of negative 0.25. Then we have negative 1/16. Then we're going to go to the 12/16, which is 0.75. And we're going to wrap it up with our 14/16, which is 7/8. Hopefully yours is in a nicer order than mine. Lastly, here's our last question. We are going from least to greatest again. For my negative numbers, I do not have to change them because there's a whole number here, not a whole number here. I know my one with the whole number is going to be smaller, so negative 2.1, negative 9/10. Same thing over here. This is a 0, that's a 1. 0.7 is going to be smaller than 1 2/5. So I know these take a lot longer. That's why we're taking 3 days to get over this and get through it. Now, the assignment portion. Go to the next frame. I'm going to zoom in and let's take a look at this. You have several questions, not too many. You only have 7. The first one, we're going to go coldest to warmest with these numbers right here. So remember, you're starting with the negatives and you're going to end with the positive. I know right now this is my only positive number, so it's going to be the biggest. They're all in decimal form, so that one should be pretty quick for you. Now this next one is least to greatest, and you're going to use these numbers right down here. The largest number is going to go last. But before you start changing things, keep in mind as it does tell you to write the changes from least to greatest in fraction form with the common denominator. But if you look on this, you're not going to have to change things because you're going to look at the whole number. This says -2. This says -1. This is a +2. This is a 1. They're all different, so you should be able to put them in order without actually having to do your math calculations. Just use your mathematical thinking on those. Number 3 and 4, you're going from least to greatest. These ones are going to get a little bit more intense, I think. So if you need to have extra paper to write on, you can go to the back, or you can get some line paper to staple on. You're going least to greatest, so you're going to start with your negative numbers and with your positive numbers. Same thing down here. Then let's look at our 3 spiral review questions. You're going to be writing the elevation integers, ordering them from least to greatest. Remember, when you're writing integers, it's either positive or negative. So we have 9 below sea level, we have 7 above, and 4 above, and you order them from least to greatest. So is it +9 or -9? Is it +7 or -7? Is it +4 or -4? Then put them in order. You're going to complete the inequality, meaning is this less than or greater than? Before you can put that in there, you need to solve the absolute value of -4. Then number 7, what are the absolute values of -15? So you're going to write them out like this. I'll write the 15 out for you. Then you have what are the absolute values of -7 and -3. So number 7 is worth 3 points.